Alright, and here's a video review for the newly arrived Walgreens version of Titan's Return Brainstorm. It varies from the Comic-Con version, mostly in paint apps. I think physically it's exactly the same toy. But and I've got the Comic-Con version on the way, so we'll do a comparison when that one gets here. But yeah, the green up here is more of a bluish teal. It matches more of the... This one's painted more like the old toy, whereas the one that came in the Comic-Con set was painted more like the comic Brainstorm, like he had the gray ends of the guns, whereas this one's got more of the detail from the original G1 toy. You can see he's a remold of Blur. The base body is the same, except he's got the fin up here instead of this little dish. The arms are the same, except the arm covers are obviously not as elongated in a different mold. The cockpit's the same, and then obviously this attachment piece right here. They have the same gun, just Blur's is painted silver, Brainstorm's is the same teal as the rest of him. And he's got the wings back here. But otherwise, it's more or less the exact same transformation scheme as Blur. And to go ahead and turn him into robot mode, we'll go ahead and pull Autobot Teslor out of here. Not Arcana, his name's Teslor now. Although I will probably quite often refer to him as Arcana because that is his headmaster. So anyway, but there he is. He's the same teal as the robot mode. The Brainstorm face on the back. Little ball joint head. He does have some orange paint on his face. And then a gray body, which you can obviously see. So we'll go ahead and flip him in half and turn him into the head mode here. Set him off to the side. And again, just like Blur, we'll go ahead and pull the pistol out, or the rifle, the gun, out here. We can get it. There we go. Set that off to the side. And then we just start back here. We'll start opening up his legs, pull his arms out to the side here. Like that. Open up the legs and fold them open. This little fin just folds into the leg like that. Close those. Turn them around, flip the feet down. Fold this down onto the back. Put this cockpit open, fold that piece up. Fold the cockpit down. Bring the arms up. And fold these panels around to the back. Give him his gun. And of course, attach his head, which I'm not having any problems with, like facing the head facing back, just folding the Headmaster in half or the Titan Master in half. His head stays on quite securely. See, it's not popping out. Works on a ball joint and doesn't sit loosely in the socket. So maybe they fixed something, although I don't really recall having too many issues with my Blur either. But yeah, so they fixed that. He's got these smaller fake wings on the front, meant to resemble the fin that comes out in vehicle mode. But these are permanently molded onto the thing, since that one's visiting. The side wings you can fold them back if you wish. I like them. I feel like they're just a little bit too big for the robot mode. They look great in vehicle mode, but when you have them up like this in robot mode, they come up a little too high and maybe a little too far out. And if they sat lower, I wouldn't mind them coming out so wide, but coming up and angled at that angle. But if you tilt them back just a little bit, or even all the way back, they kind of fit aesthetically a little better. And I know I probably used that word wrong. Sorry, Eric. Anyway, so yeah, he's got the same articulation. He's got a ball joint neck, swivel wrists, in and out, front and back, ball joint there. Or actually, it's not a ball joint, but it's a swivel forward and back and a swivel up and down there. Bicep swivel, hinged elbows. He's got the waist swivel. Ball joint hips, which are actually pretty secure. Hinge knees, and then you can move the foot if you need to for certain poses. But foot's intended to be straight up. You can also, just like on Blur, you can pull this piece off and attach it to the forearm as like kind of a weaponized shield. There. And of course it can be attached to the side of the vehicle with the gun attached and the Headmaster, the Titan Master in here. And it's even got a little flip out landing gear for when you use it as a little weapon boat. Or I guess that's for the one that's attached to the side of the vehicle to support it. Now I've tried to find a way to get this to kind of sit on his back like this, with the guns kind of sticking up over his head like they do in the comic. But I haven't found a way to do that. You can plug them in like this upside down, but then you can see it sits way too high. If there a way to get that to, you can kind of rest it in there, but as you can see, not very secure. So the best way to use it is this arm shield, or just leave it attached to the back, which is what I'll probably end up doing. So yeah, we'll compare it to the Comic-Con version when that gets here in a few days. Like I said, he's mostly a lighter blue. He does have, the Comic-Con version has a little tiny Autobot symbol stamped up here, whereas he has one under the cockpit there and the waist. But yeah, he's really cool. And with that, I'll do some quick size comparisons here. Here he is with the original G1 BRAINSTORM. And you can see all the details that match up, the wing details, and when he's in vehicle mode, the Autobot symbol on the wings. The cockpit, the lower Autobot symbol down here on the cockpit, the detailing on the legs. These stickers may be on upside down according to what it looks like here on the robot, but it's painted to look more like the G1 toy, whereas the Comic-Con is more like the comic, which I think I've said a couple times, so we'll leave that alone. Here he is with his mold mate Blur, and they do look, despite sharing the core body, they come across the remolded wings and stuff do help, but they come across looking like vastly different characters. You can see, if you look closely at them, you can see that they're the same base mold, but just sitting on a shelf, it looks like two distinct characters, which is nice. And of course, we got to wait for Wave 2 to complete the whole set. Let's go ahead and get BRAINSTORM in here with his current Autobot Headmaster pals. Here he is with Cerebros and Hardhead. So yeah, Wave 2 of the Deluxes will bring us Chrome Dome and Highbrow, and then we'll have the original main Autobot Headmaster team complete. But very cool. Like, I don't know if I'm going to prefer this one or the Comic-Con version. I really like this version. I like the details on it. I do kind of like that richer teal versus the faded blue of the Comic-Con version. But I do like the Comic-Con version has some of the blue down here on the legs as well. But there he is, Titans Return Deluxe BRAINSTORM. This one's going to be a Walgreens exclusive in the U.S. I'm not sure how it's going to be distributed outside of North America, but I know in the U.S. it is going to be a Walgreens exclusive. The representative was saying they were hoping to get them out in stores by November, but something else recently said it was August 1st, so which is today. So I'm not sure. I know it has been showing up in stores, obviously, because this came from Robot Kingdom. So he is out in some places. It may be online only right now, but you should be seeing him in stores soon. Walgreens tends to get cases of like one solid figure, so like they'll get a case and it'll be 8 BRAINSTORMs. It won't be like 2 BRAINSTORMs and some other figures, so it should be readily available if you go to look. I haven't had a whole lot of issues, with the exception of the Star Wars figures that came out. I haven't had a lot of issues finding the Walgreens exclusive figures. So if you have a Walgreens nearby, and there's a lot of them, you should have one somewhere nearby. Hopefully, barring somebody coming in and buying all of them, you shouldn't have too much of a problem finding them. But very cool. One of my favorite old Headmaster characters updated for the new thing. I know they had the Voyager one, and he is on my desk at work, or I would have displayed him here as well from the Combiner Wars. It wasn't Combiner Wars. Was it before Combiner Wars? Anyway, the Generations Voyager. But this one will fit in with all the other Titan Masters, and it looks really cool. I like this version of the mold much better than Blur, although the Blur is pretty nice too. Anyway, there he is, Walgreens BRAINSTORM. And of course, real quick, I forgot this. He does come with his instruction sheet and his little bio card, which has all of his stats there on the back. So there you go. Just a little addendum to that. I forgot to show that off in the video. Didn't want to forget him. There you go.